And did you travel around the country and see the sights?
Oh, I did. And, if I live to be 100, I'll never forget the night when we arrived at the cursed old tomb of King Nephew Feneza. If I live to be 100. Either side of the entrance, there were two giant colossuses. Two giant colossuses. Either side of the entrance, there was two giant colossuses. Oh, listen, at one side of the entrance, Fiona,
yes.
If you let me get a word in.
Yes.
There was one giant colossus, and at the other side of the entrance, there was another giant colossus. You see, there's ways around all that.
Yes.
I remember being transfixed at the sheer scale of them. We were dumbstruck, in silent awe. Imagine that, the whole cast of Fiddler on the Roof struck dumb. It's a good job it wasn't a matinee. Anyway, onward we went, ever onward, into the cursed old tomb of King Nephew Feneza. Once inside, I could see in the half-light ahead of me a South goose. Guys. Oh, listen, one goose is a goose.
Yes.
Two gooses is a geese. South goose.
Yes. That makes sense.
It's obvious.
It is.
There were no prizes for guessing which was Nephew Feneza's tosses. Sort of goose. It shone like solid gold in the half-light, only half blinding anyone that even half looked at it. Happy days. Been half blinded by a South goose. I must go back to Egypt sometime.
So what was it like coming back to Great Britain after being posted to such an interesting place? What did you do?
Don't tell me. Oh, go on, tell me. You're obviously dying to let me know.
Well, you started working on television.
Did I?
And radio.
Oh.
Juliet Bravo.
Oh, sorry, Juliet Bravo. That was much later, though, wasn't that? That was in the 70s. That was a pinnacle of my career, that. Juliet Bravo. So it was like the holy chalice of jobs, was that. I went to my agent, Larry Trafalgar.
Did you get your agent when you came back from National Service? How did you get him?
Larry had always been around. He was an agent to a lot of people. Larry Trafalgar of Larry Trafalgar Associates. And I'll tell you, when I came back, I don't know, it was round about, it must have been the 70s, round about the 70s, and I thought, what's happened to my Dixon and Duck Leaf money? I've had my repeat money for that for a long time. So I phoned Larry up, and there was no reply. I thought, that's funny, isn't it? Anyway, I phoned him up a few times about that my repeats money, and I couldn't get any reply, so I decided I'll go around to the office and see what's going on. So I got on the bus, 37. We had offices in Wood Green then. And I didn't mind. It was a lovely day. The sun was shining in the sky, and the azure blue of the Wood Green sky. So I walked to the office, and I pressed the bell, and this man came to the door, and he said, yes. I said, Larry Trafalgar, please. He said, what? I said, Larry Trafalgar, please. He said, what, the agent? I said, yes, Larry Trafalgar Associates. He said, oh, he's not here anymore. I said, what do you mean he's not here anymore? I said, we're still stockholders. I said, what do you mean you're still stockholders? He said, I know what you mean, though, because we still send the odd letter on to him. I said, but what about my dog Sir Dick Green repeats money? He said, I don't know anything about that, but I'll give you his address. And he gave me his address, and it said Leafy Grade Retirement Home. So I got on another bus. No, actually two sodden buses now. And I went to the retirement home. And first of all, when I got in there, they thought I was one of the inmates. It was ridiculous. I had to persuade them I wasn't. And then they told me where Larry was. And apparently he'd been in there for 10 years.
Dear.
And he never told me. Anyway, the blessing of it all really was that if you get there at changeover time, nobody knows who you were. So I ate there as well. And I've done that many times since. So I'm slowly clawing back my dips in a duck sick repeats money. And I've said, just because it's in my nature, my good nature, I've said to Larry, we'll give it another go, because I let him use the telephone for 15 minutes a day, and he's on some new pills now. So, and he got me, actually, after that. I don't know how he did it, but he pulled some strings in the 15 minutes to let him have on the phone, and got me the Juliet Bravo audition.
So what did you have to do to get that job, actually?
Well, he told me it was for a part of a policeman in it, which made sense to me, because it was a police drama, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So I thought, I'll do this properly, methodical preparation. And I went and got a uniform from a friend of mine that worked in wardrobe that owed me a favour, because I'd cleaned her windows. Don't need to go into that, window cleaning. And she got me a police constable's uniform, and I wore that for it. Actually, I got there late for my audition because there were 2 cars illegally parked on the way. So I had to sort that out. And when I got there, they said, showing in, they said, what is it, officer? I said, I'm not officer, I'm here to audition. They said, who are you? I said, half the song. And they said, you're for a doctor. And anyway, the long and short of it was I ended up playing a porter. And I had to, very, very technical what I had to do. The trolleys they have in hospital? Yeah. I had to push one of those.
On time?
Yeah, on time, down the bottom of a corridor. Oh, yeah, and they were meticulous. We had to do it well over 100 times.
And was it anything on the trolley?
Yeah.
There was.
I didn't have a dig to see what it was, but it was wrapped up to resemble a body. Yeah.
That must have been quite difficult to contain your emotion.
Oh, no, I've trained.
Mm. That's not the first time you've played a doctor, though, because you have a doctor in your repertoire, don't you?
Do I?
Doctor 2.
Doctor 2? Oh, from Emergency Ward, what's it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did that. I was originally supposed to be Doctor 3, but they bumped me up one. I think I've said that before. Have I said that twice tonight?
No, you haven't said that at all.
Well,
you haven't said that at all. So, Juliet Bravo, were you a hit in Juliet Bravo?
I was, and it really changed my life, and I'd really let it go to my head as well. And for a time I burnt the candle at both ends, which I've never fully understood what that means.
Were you partying all the time then?
Oh, it was non-stop partying. At least 2 occasions there was a lock-in at the Shoulder and Mutton till nearly midnight on one of them.
But lots of bad behaviour and sort of too many women.
You could say I was a bit of a hellraiser, yes, locally. I knew it had to come to an end, I couldn't keep that lifestyle up forever. But to tell you the truth, it was very difficult to find work after that, because everybody thought I would be too expensive now I'd done Juliet Bravo, and that they couldn't afford me in the shows, So after a fair while I was of work, as it were, I decided to go back to variety, and Larry pulled a few strings, and within 6 months he'd got me a summer season at Cromer at the end of the pier, and I didn't know they had a pier.